Now, to the political fallout, an ABC News tracking poll has Donald Trump within 1 point of Hillary Clinton nationally, and Trump arrived at a rally in Grand Rapids, Michigan today. He was ready to seize on the moment. Watch this.
It took guts for Director Comey to make the move that he made in light of the kind of opposition he had where they're trying to protect her from criminal prosecution.
As for Hillary Clinton, she actually addressed the issue as well today. Head on. Take a look.
Now they apparently want to look at emails of one of my staffers, and by all means, they should look at them. And I am sure they will reach the same conclusion they did when they looked at my emails for the last year. There is no case here.
Joining me now, Miami Beach Mayor Philip Levine, Noel Nickpour, Van Hipp, and Eliana Johnson. Van Hipp, let me start with you. This is certainly, it was certainly manna on Friday. It's been tucked and pulled in many directions, but this is the ultimate October surprise.
This is the tipping point, Charles, we've been talking about. I've been saying for some time with WikiLeaks, everything else that's been coming out, at some point you reach that tipping point where the average American pauses, takes a deep breath, and steps back and says, wait just a minute. We're about to elect this lady to be our president. At the end of the day, I believe most Americans, be they Republican or Democrat, and regardless of philosophy, Charles, want a government that is open and honest and that has integrity. Now, Hillary Clinton is playing the Clinton playbook beautifully. They got the talking points, and it's about deflecting and blaming others for all your problems. But I think this time, I think we may just be at that tipping point.
You know, Eliana, no matter how good the Hillary Clinton is with respect to that playbook, one thing we've seen throughout this election cycle is that whoever's in the news cycle, whoever's dominating, suffers in the polls, and we're already starting to see that with Hillary Clinton.
That's exactly right, Charles. Her strategy had been, because of Trump's struggles, to just stay out of the news. She had been sending surrogates out on the campaign trail, Barack Obama, Michelle Obama, Joe Biden, and really staying out of the headlines and out of view from the American public because she's not much liked. The polls were already tightening before Director Comey sent his letter to Congress, and they've continued to tighten in the few polls that have been taken in the wake of his announcement on Friday. So that is not good news for Secretary Clinton with just a week to go until people go to the polls. And many have already voted, but until the 2/3 of the electorate who will vote next Tuesday do go to the polls.
You know, Noel, one of the big issues for the Trump campaign has been the Never Trump part of his party, the GOPers. Now, interesting, last week, Thursday, Representative Chaffetz jumped back on the Trump bandwagon. At least 6 people have done the same thing ahead of this news. You're in touch with the major donors. You're in touch with the major players. Does this shift the idea that, hey, maybe this is a galvanizing issue that could bring the entire party together?
Well, it's no secret that Donald Trump needs to rally his base, and this could be the breaking moment where a lot of people on the Never Trump bandwagon switch over and go ahead and at least cast their vote. Now, I'm not too sure. It may be too late to write, you know, one of the big checks because we've only got 7 days out. But I will tell you this much. I think that there are going to be a lot of people that were on the fence as a Republican, and this may be what it takes to generate that vote. And like I said, this is all we're looking for right now in this late of the game.
On the other side of that, Mayor, by the way, did you recognize that backdrop?
Of course.
The other side of this is that it does tilt undecideds toward Donald Trump. To what degree, we don't know, but certainly people who already had a major issue with Hillary Clinton and hadn't committed to her, this cannot help. And it also may keep turnout lower for the Democrats.
Charles, I don't think so. And let me tell you, if you haven't all noticed, for the last year, the FBI has been investigating Secretary Clinton's emails. And what they came up with was absolutely nothing. It's a real shame that, you know, with 11 days to go, now 8 days to go, that the director made this, we feel, was a wrong decision to do what he has done. Of course, remember something. Over 100 attorney generals, former, have come forward, both bipartisan, and have said this was a bad decision from a good guy. And it's a shame. But I've been all over the state.
But that investigation you're talking about was more or less wrapped up with a nice bow, and it was handed over to Hillary Clinton as the ultimate present. How did you feel, honestly, Friday when you heard that news? Tell me your gut didn't drop a couple of inches, that you didn't have a knot in your stomach when you heard this case is reopened?
Well,
You
Charles,
didn't think it was a bombshell?
I can tell you, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a business guy, I'm the mayor. I've been all over the state of Florida. I've been dealing with African Americans, Hispanics, women. They're all for Secretary Clinton. They feel tremendous enthusiasm because they're not focused on the emails. As Bernie Sanders said, forget about
But
the
it's
damn
not
emails.
about them. And by the way, the African American turnout in your state is relatively low. I mean, compared to 2012.
I'm not so sure. You know, we're okay. We're competitive right now. Of course, election day is election day. But let me tell you what people want. They want jobs. They want infrastructure. They want affordable health care. They want to make sure that they can climate change in Florida, sea level rise. They look at Donald Trump and he has no answers. He's focusing on the emails. America's not focusing on the emails.
In the meantime, Van Hip, I think some people are focused on the character of who the next commander-in-chief will be. You know, no matter what the category is, everything falls under character. That's the #1 issue. You've got to clear that hurdle before you can attack any others. Isn't that right?
Well, yeah, I talked to a college professor this weekend, Charles, who's apolitical, and he brought it up to me. He said, I got to tell you, we've got to have a government that has and respects the rule of law, equal justice for all, and that no one is above the law. We can't have arrogance of power. If we can't have that kind of a justice system where no one is above the law, then do we really have a government? I think this is going to have an impact. At the end of the day, regardless of party, we've got to have an open and honest government and a government that has integrity for the American people.
Mayor?
Yeah, but think about it. Open and honest. So we want a candidate who's under federal IRS investigation, Donald Trump. A guy that won't release his tax return. Someone, by the way, who literally, we see what he said to people throughout this last year and a half. That's open and honest government? I don't think so.
Mr. Mayor, where's the Democrat outrage against the deputy director of the FBI who told FBI field agents to stand down on an investigation of the Clinton Foundation, who we now found out a super PAC controlled by Terry McAuliffe, one of the Clintons' best friends, gave close to $500,000 for her state Senate campaign. People want a lot of sunshine on this, and I think the American people deserve it.